Most people try to avoid chaos, but what if embracing it was the key to unlocking your true potential? This isn't about being resilient, guys. It's about becoming anti fragile. That rare quality where you don't just survive chaos, but you get stronger from it. And that's kind of what I want to talk with you guys about today. The idea of becoming anti fragile, and just the subject of chaos as you go through life, and what that means and how you need to handle that, and what kind of mindset you need to have in order to make that something that works for you instead of uh, playing on the defense and waiting for something to happen to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. What I've done is I've written down some notes. I'm gonna go over some of these notes that I've written down to help me collect my thoughts as I speak with you guys. And let's go ahead and whoa, there's a lot of chaos happening over here. So a lot of, but let me go ahead and get the car over here so I don't crash or have something happen accidentally. So properly properly talk with you guys about this. But basically, what's happening, guys, is go right over here. The first talking point here that you need to understand is that life guarantees chaos. Okay, life, you're not going to go out there through life and expect only kind of a dumb person, a clueless person, someone who's living under a rock is going to assume that when you're going through life you're not going to come across chaos. There's going to be chaos out there. It's a mindset thing, and it's a setting the correct expectations for yourself thing. You're going to experience chaos as you go through life. It's part of life. And for those, if it makes you feel better, it's not just you, buddy. It's not just you, bro. It's everybody. Everybody's going to experience chaos in their life. And everyone probably is. You look around you, don't be fooled by the smiles and everything else. I mean, hey, people deal with the difficulties differently. People deal with chaos differently. I'm trying to share with you the idea that number one, you need to set your expectations correctly. Life is one big test. Everyone's going to get tested in one way or the other. Okay, and you should be. I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel kind of good knowing that I'm not alone in this. Everybody's going to get tested. Everybody's getting tested in a different way. It's kind of a this is a whole different topic, mind you, but that I probably want to get into with you. But let's focus on the chaos and understanding that life is chaotic a lot of times. It's chaotic for everybody, not just you. Everybody around you is experiencing chaos in some way, but some people are in denial about it. Some people go thinking about it as why is my life so chaotic? That's one mentality to have. Oh no, victim mentality. Why is my life so chaotic? I'm the well, why am I with, woe to me, a victim, and the other mentality is acknowledging it, accepting it, embracing it. Because what does that do? When you go in through life expecting there to be chaos, what does that allow you to do? It allows you to prepare properly, anticipate things, have game plans in case this happens, in case that happens. That's what I would argue a smart person would do. Okay? And these are not things people are born with. Obviously, as you go through life, your skills sharpen. You hone these skills. But I'm kind of when I'm talking like about these things, I'm thinking about what did the younger me, what would the younger me have benefited from? What would have the people that were younger than me, the family, friends, friends and family and everyone else, if we can go back in time and I could just share some stuff with them, what would I do? I mean, there's a lot of people out there who, even older people out there who are don't know, and these things have made dramatic changes in. So let's go to the first the point here, guys. Life guarantees chaos, which is what I was talking about just now. Life is not smooth sailing 24/7 at all. Okay, you're in. Think of it as you being in a boat chugging along, and then the waves hit. Do you expect there not to be any waves as you're on your boat through the ocean or through the lake or wherever you're headed, whatever journey you're on? You don't think there's going to be waves that are going to hit your boat? You don't think there's going to be some storms that you're going to have to get through? Of course. Only a clueless person is going to think that you could just smooth sail and there's not going to be any good luck to that person. All in the clouds, not thinking clearly. And that this also touches on another topic. Instead of embracing the reality that there's going to be storms that you need to navigate through, what do some morons do? They go and they start getting themselves addicted to drugs and alcohol for escapism. You want to be an escapist? You want to be a little victim, little peasant, little escapist? This channel might not be for you, because you might get offended, because I go hard on those people. I'm not a fan of people who are in the part of doing the escapism stuff. A little bit about me, guys. I've never done any drugs or any alcohol in my life, and after interacting with drug addicts and alcoholics, even harder, I will never I will die before I do drugs or alcohol. I do not want to be. I value my brain way too much to be messing with all that kind of stuff. And after interacting with some of the people there, no thank you. Hard no. I would rather be labeled all sorts of other things than a drug addict or alcoholic. Believe it. So let me just pause there. Let's get back on track so I don't go off. But back to the point one that I was trying to make. Life guarantees chaos. You need to have that as part of your mindset. Okay, don't run away from it. It's a reality. Embrace it and use this knowledge that you have that life guarantees chaos. It's and make your moves accordingly, knowing this, instead of pretending that it's not going to happen to you. Okay? Or another example, you're on a bike thinking that everything's fine, and then a speed bump sends you flying. Did you not fall off your bike when you were a kid? Or you were just a perfect zero record, no loss. The curbs, you never hit the curbs, you never did anything, you never fell, you never got bumped and bruised and any of that kind of stuff. I mean, what kind of helicopter parents did you have that you never experienced a little bit of pain? That's part of how you learn. Okay, and these things are important for you to grasp. You're on a boat or on a bike. These are examples. If your boat capsizes, and another example, or if your job fires you, or if you get laid off without warning. This is the chaos that I'm talking about out there in the world that you might experience. Your job fires you, you get laid off without warning. We've heard stories on Reddit, in other places and stuff, and I'm probably gonna start reading some of those posts for you guys, kind of give my thoughts on how I would probably handle it and look at it and share, because I think you guys could benefit from this. Stuff like that happens. There's actually a word for this, guys. It's called Murphy's Law. You might want to look that up. Murphy's Law. What is that? What does Murphy's Law say? It says if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong. So why do I need to care about Murphy's Law? Well, because if you have the mindset of thinking that if something can go wrong, it will go wrong, there is a possibility my car can get a flat tire. Well, Murphy's Law says, okay, then if that's a possibility, if it can go wrong, that you can get a flat tire, you're probably going to get a flat tire at some point. So what does the smart person do? They learn how to change tires if they need to, and they have a spare just in case. What does the clueless person do in La La Land, in the cloud, escapism, everything's supposed to be perfect, or if it's not perfect, I'm a victim, and blah, blah, blah. They don't learn how to make a flat tire. They don't have a spare. They have a flat tire because Murphy's Law, and life guarantees chaos, and now they're stuck on the side of the road, all cross-eyed and clueless, not knowing what the hell to do. Because they're like an ostrich, they have their head in the sand. I don't like that, and that's not how you should be, so... This is be in tune with. Don't fight reality. Be in tune with reality. Why the hell would you try to fight against gravity? Why are you fighting an uphill battle? Just be in tune with reality. Flow with the gravity, flow with the reality. You're fighting a losing battle when you're trying to fight against reality and gravity. You know, his truths and my truths and everything. Do you think gravity cares about his truths and my truths and your truths and their truths? No, it doesn't, bro. No, it doesn't, my guy. No, it doesn't, milady. It does not. Okay. The other example I want to give in the year 2020, people had perfect plans. What happened in 2020, 2019, 2020? The COVID pandemic, the COVID epidemic happened, right? People had perfect plans, steady jobs, they had wedding plans, they had travel plans, and then chaos came. Okay? It wasn't major chaos, but it was enough to disrupt a lot of things. People couldn't go outside. You had to wear masks and do all these vaccination shots, and people not allowed to go places and blah 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 blah. Some people froze in place like a deer in headlights. They just froze. Then you had other people who adapted and thrived and took advantage of that situation because they prepared ahead of time. They were expecting something to go on. It's Murphy's law, because life guarantees chaos. You're either in tune with that and you prepare accordingly, or you're living under a rock, and then you're going to get messed up because you didn't prepare, because your expectations, your mindset weren't in the right place. Point number two. Point number two is understanding what fragile is. What do I mean by fragile here in this context? What do I mean by being resilient here in this context? And what do I mean by being anti-fragile here in this context of chaos? What I mean by fragile is fragile breaks under pressure. Okay, imagine a glass cup. One drop, you drop that glass cup, it shatters. It's done. You're dunzos. Broken back, done. Okay, that's a fragile person. You do not want to be a fragile person as you're going through life. Okay, that's fragile. What is a resilient person? A resilient individual is the next level up above being fragile. You're not fragile anymore. You're resilient. Okay, it means that you can survive, but that's still not good enough, because you're surviving, but you're not improving. You know, you're not getting better. You're pretty much it's like you're like a rubber band, right? You can pull the rubber band and stretch it, and but once you let it go, it snaps back. It snaps back into its original position. I don't want to get into the I could get into the topics of elasticity and plasticity in engineering, but that's a different video. But you're like a resilient person's like a rubber band. They can handle some stretching and some stress, and you let it go and it goes back to its original position. That's you don't really improve. It's better than being fragile, but that's what resilient is. You snap back into place, but you're not really you don't really get much stronger, right? The level above resilient. So you have fragile, resilient, and then you have anti-fragile. What's anti-fragile? An anti-fragile person is a person who gets stronger with stress. If you experience the stress, you actually end up getting even stronger. So in some ways, part of you kind of wants that stress, because your mindset is, that's my exercise, right? Anti-fragile person is like a muscle. They grow stronger by tearing. That's how you grow your muscles. If you tear your muscles from all the stress of lifting and all that kind of stuff, or doing some jujitsu or wrestling or whatever, that sore feeling that you get is your muscles are torn up. So when you eat protein, it allows your muscles to build back up and all that kind of stuff, right? And that's an anti-fragile person. They actually get stronger with stress, and that's where I would argue that you need to be. It's a mindset shift. That's where you want to be, an anti-fragile person, right? An example, for example, example of this, you had businesses. The fragile ones folded under economic shifts, right? The resilient ones barely held on during the COVID-19 and all that kind of stuff, and the anti-fragile ones pivoted faster. There's a really big examples of some anti-fragile businesses and operations out there who pivoted fast. Restaurants started to take out, gyms went online instead, creators thrived. You had some stores out there who were struggling with when the pandemic hit, when the COVID-19 hit. Businesses were struggling pretty hard, Guess which ones ended up not only surviving but thriving? The ones that took their business online. The ones that were trying to implement like the Amazon model. You know, Amazon doesn't have physical locations; it's all done online. Well, people can't come to my store. Well, should I shut it down, or should I hurry up and build a website, have people purchase stuff online, and just have it shipped to them? Being nimble and agile like that, that's anti-fragility right there. Thriving. They ended up finding out that when they opened up the online business, they ended up making 10 times more than what they were doing just with their current versus their current operation, because everyone's online. You have like 100 times more people online where you can try to reach out to people and sell and ship their stuff to them, versus your little physical location in the world. I mean, so fragile. That's fragile. This is point number 2. Fragile, resilient, anti-fragile. Point number 3 is let's get on to the next one. Chaos exposes weak systems. That's a very interesting point that I wanted to hit with you guys, because for example, one job is a point of failure, right? You got to look at how you operate. If your only source of income is just one source of income, that's it. If that source of income gets cut off at the root, then what? If you lose it, your whole life collapses. You know, one job is one point of failure. Maybe you should think about creating a second point of failure, a third point of failure, redundancies in your systems, backup plans in your systems. Instead of having one source of income, generate 2 or 3 sources of income. Now you don't have any. Now you don't have one point of failure anymore. You have, if one gets cut from the root, it doesn't matter. You have 2 other streams coming in, 2 other streams of income. It wasn't a big deal. So while you have those 2 other streams of income coming in, you can work on building up your third one again, and getting up a third and a fourth one, and a fifth one, and a sixth one. Guess how many streams of income the typical millionaire has coming in order for them to call themselves a millionaire? They have. I've heard a lot of different places throw this number out there, but the typical millionaire apparently has 7 different streams of income. Isn't that interesting? They're not begging this place or that place. So please don't fire me. Please, I'll do whatever. I'll brown nose you, do whatever. Just make sure that no, they don't care. They have 7, and they're probably working on 7 more redundant systems that are generating income for them, to where they don't have to worry about, if I lose this income stream, it doesn't matter. I got 6 more coming in, and the one that I lost, I'll replace it with 2 more, and I'll have 8. While it's these are the things you need to build for yourself. If so, chaos is going to happen. But when the chaos happens, and you are living in your own little weak system, in your little ecosystem that you've developed for yourself at this point in time, the chaos that happens is going to expose. It's going to expose you. It's going to expose people who have weak systems versus people who don't have weak systems. That's just what's going to happen if you don't embrace it. That's the reality of what's going to happen. Okay, one plan is one way to get stuck. Okay, if plan A fails, you're finished unless you prepared plan B, C, and D. Right? An example: a worker who only has one paycheck versus someone with a side hustle, someone with investments, someone with some skill sets that makes them employable instantly. Going back to the other video I was talking about, improve the value you bring to the marketplace. Is it easier to replace a burger flipper, or is it easier to replace a skilled and experienced doctor or engineer? Which one of them is easier to replace? Can you hire a monkey to flip burgers and serve meals at a restaurant? There's videos on YouTube of a monkey serving meals. If you can be replaced, if you can be replaced by a freaking monkey, then I don't think you have a very high skill set. You might want to improve your skills and your abilities. I think the engineers and doctors. I don't think a monkey can replace an engineer and a doctor to calculate things and do surgery on the human body and make sure you don't just So when chaos comes, guys, weak systems are going to collapse. Is my point here. Strong systems are going to adapt, and the anti-fragile systems are going to profit. That's the kind of systems you want. The systems that where if any outside chaos comes in, it's not only going to not affect you, it's going to make you stronger and make you have more money. Imagine that. Imagine having a system that operates in the reverse. It's like a system that you'll come on. I dare you. I dare chaos to attack my system, because if it does attack my system, what's going to happen is I'm going to make even more money. So bring it on. Where's the chaos? Bring it. That's the kind of systems you want to create. Point number four, build backup systems, which ties into all the rest that I was talking about here. Chaos proof yourself, guys. Multiple streams of income, not just one paycheck. Okay, this takes time to build. It's not an overnight thing. But if you're not making moves to make that happen right now, you're in danger. Because whether you see this video now or whether you see it in the future, these are truths that I'm telling you about. Life guarantees chaos, and you need to prepare accordingly. Okay. Don't run away from these things and try to like drink and do all this kind of bull non BS. Prepare. Have a healthy, clean, healthy mind, a sharp, razor sharp warrior mentality, and prepare. Embrace, understand the realities around you and how things are. Murphy's Law, life guarantees chaos, and prepare accordingly. Chaos proof yourself. Multiple streams of income, not just one paycheck. Skills that can't be automated. Sales, leadership, creativity, problem solving. If everybody could do it, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. The reason why no one's doing it is because it's difficult. Find those things that are difficult that people don't want to do, and you be the one to do those things. And when you become the one that solves those problems and does those things, guess what? You can't be replaced, because everyone else is too lazy to figure out how to do it properly, and you're the one that took the time to figure out how to do it. So now guess what? Everyone has to go through you to get the problem solved. Right? You're not the worker that can be replaced by a monkey. I don't want to make fun of the workers, but hey, there's a video out there on YouTube of a monkey serving people. Look it up. It's on YouTube. There's a video. Look it up. Search it. Video monkey serving at a restaurant. if your skills can be replaced by a monkey, dude, you gotta step up your game, man. So skills that can be automated, sales, leadership, problems. Okay, let's see here. Systems that run without you. I mean, these are higher levels of doing things. Where you have people in place, systems in place. You got to build those out. Build out those frameworks. Investments are very major. So it might be a video I talk about. Probably I'm gonna go into more detail in the Patreon, and other sources in the description, where you can get more in-depth information about these things, kind of the behind-the-scenes type stuff for privileged individuals. But investments, automations, side hustles that generate money even while you sleep. One of the easiest ways to generate more money for yourself is investing. And there's a right way and a wrong way of doing that too, guys. There's a systematic, methodical way of doing these things. Okay? So an example, YouTube creators who lost ad revenue still sold courses, right? They still sold merchandise. They still had Patreons. What did I just say 30 seconds ago? Okay? They had backups while fragile creators vanished. Another example I'm throwing out there at you. Point number 5, guys. Most people, I want to, kind of just let you guys know overall, most people out there fear chaos. They hide from the chaos. They try to escape from it. They crumble when it shows up. Okay? But if you lean into it, if you lean into the chaos, if you embrace the chaos, you become untouchable. Get comfortable with the chaos, guys. Make it part of how you operate out there in the world. Chaos is going to happen. Make it part of your system of approach of how you handle things, so that you're prepared when it does, so that it's not a big deal when it does happen. Okay, the example, the athlete who loves the fourth quarter when the pressure is the highest. The entrepreneur who loves downturns because it clears out the competition. Imagine that. You got an entrepreneur out there, and he's waiting for all sorts of just delicious chaos to happen. He's wanting it to happen because he knows that his competition is not prepared like he is. So he knows that when the chaos does happen, they're going to get wiped out, and he's going to still stay in business. And he's not just going to stay in business; he's going to take their business and even make even more money because he prepared, because he was expecting the chaos and he prepared for it properly. Imagine that. Which one do you want to be, right? Every wave becomes your fuel. Every rejection becomes proof you're playing the game, bro. Don't be the hey, which side do you want to be on, man? So the closing truths here for you guys: stop chasing a calm sea. It can be nice sometimes, you know, but I would say stop chasing a calm sea, guys. There is no such thing as a calm sea, and if it is, it's a fragile little glimpse of peace for a brief amount of time before the chaos starts back up again. Okay, that permanent calm sea does not exist. Build yourself into the kind of person who turns storms into momentum. Chaos isn't a setback, guys. It shouldn't be a setback in your world, in your operational, the way that you operate in the world. Chaos should not be a setback for you. It should be a signal. It means you're ready to level up. Fragile people break. Resilient people just barely survive. Okay? But anti-fragile people, and those people, they thrive. And that's where you want to be. You don't just want to survive, you want to thrive out there. That's who you need to become. Understand that life guarantees chaos, and be that monstrosity out there that is ready for it when others are not. Murphy's Law, guys. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section of the video. Share your thoughts. Like the video if it provided some value for you and changed your perspective a little bit. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys later.